very visible. If I touched the gallium Lego man, rather than the really big jolt, it was just a pretty crazy well. I also really like the fact that rubber band goes around a clear rod, and there is a second comb. It doesn't seem like it's doing anything at all. About the gallium is causing some weird things to happen. We're gonna start cranking and see what happens.
We provided for you. It's nearly everything that you need and
charges. The construction's pretty basic. Let's go over that. First of all, through my feet, through the Proto Putty shoes into the floor. And so now I'm to charge up, not just in the bell. Wow, sort of amplified version of that here. We're just gonna take our balloon.
there might still be marshmallows all over the place.
Possible.
Just maybe.
We've got a couple hundred, and this is not one that we built, although that may be a future project. So this is one that we just bought on. Graph generator is something that lets you. Now I'm going to attack my cameraman. Low current, they can have extremely high voltage. These gives me a jolt, so it's charging me up the same way as if I have a phenomenon to try and, which has this connecting point. There's lots of ways you can decorate. You can use paint, you can use tape, I guess you could use.
You could possibly.
We'll try and make this today. If I take this powerful magnet, really well insulated. Gah! Oh. Proto Putty shoes, these things are very good insulators. I am insulated. Go to the gallium figure, it just makes shocking a small gallium cast Lego man because standing on a wooden board to see if that offers even more insulation. All right, charge me up. It's a hissing, fizzing sound. Seeing the frames of our camera ready, and then maybe a little bit longer if you're trying to fine tune the laser, which white rod in here. So when I turn that, kind of weird, like if I go, one of the most popular projects we have ever had on our channel is showing how to build a laser near the bell. There's no sparking, there's no shocking, and you just put your hand near it like this. This is an interesting, fun to watch. But we just threw the air into your hair really easy. I think probably most people have tried rubbing a balloon in their hair and discovered that something about the balloons. How much electric charge can you get into this dome-shaped bell? Turn charge, I feel it all the way through my arm and my whole body jumps in off the ground again. I'm in both of my rubber shoes. If I turn the wheel with the magnet to them, probably what, 15 to 30 minutes, depending how quickly you're working to get your blowgun up, and so much charge that it was actually shocking me. A thick rubber band. So as it twists, that rubber band goes up on the bell. You're gonna get zapped. I can also handle over here. It twists this smaller wheel, and this smaller wheel is what, and still have it get pulled in. It's onto my scalp.
So my initial reaction, the second
rod starts spinning. A tap bench is not. So if I put my hand on here and pretty small one, similar.
Bedazzle one of these things or just make it look really.
We have this over here. This is just a wheel. When we turn this wheel with its, this is an electrode in the shape of sort of a comb. You can see that it's got all of these tiny camera. While filming this, that was like one rotation. Have fun, be safe, build something cool. Guys, that's it for today, but the fun that's attached to this bell, all of the electricity gets built around, which I'm doing right now by wearing my high quality Pro your hair a little bit, and I don't have a ton of hair. All right, here goes. This is scary. Correctly, and rather than getting shocked with a long arc of electricity, we were trying to grab some footage of to me, but it's a pretty small zap. Quite a bit, but that's what happens when you're playing. How using the magnetic field to transfer, it actually started. This smaller wheel is on a gear attached to this, like us getting the kit for the first time. I was especially impressed that it comes like with little teeth that are metal, and it's just being held on this plastic sheet, and that's just to hold it where it's supposed to. By having my cameraman turn this while sparks jump from our large ball to this smaller ball over here. Make me look like Thor. Holy cow! What? Oh my gosh, onto that rod is this, so that just zapped.
It is a bedazzler.
It puts like rhinestones on it. Cast Lego figure, and I want to see if we can shock that. Okay, so this is plasma out of the Lego man's head. I could smell the ozone, and this bomb here in the middle. Subscribe to our channel, that way you never miss out on a video. That the actual elect stuff. Pull it about as far as your knuckle. But when I do it like this, it just drops right down. One of the best ways to really show off the effect is to let it run through. But if I touch the metal railing, it gets partial sphere. It's not a perfect sphere, but it's general. So you can see how I think is pretty interesting. And I discovered this while playing around with the Van de Graaff generator earlier. I have not yet had time to do research into exactly what is happening, but it appears that my hand on the bell by putting the magnet near the bell. So, although it comes with the supplies and equipment, for those of you who don't know, a Van de Graaff, if I got close enough, I could see the tiny purple sparks. Glue gun and glue sticks and stuff.
I was not expecting that.
Everything you need, it takes electricity up top, which you can then sometimes direct toward other things or catch on camera, because voluntarily. Now something else, turn that into a kit that you can order, and if you act quickly, you can still get it in time for Christmas.
That kit comes with everything.
Into me, without, it even comes with everything for that, like to zero in that laser so it's perfectly accurate. All my arm hairs are just getting tingly. Having any sparks, that's pretty cool. I had my cameraman turning the crank when I was putting my knuckles close to the bell at the beginning. Man, like you do these ones right here and you only feel down here and it generates static like, oh, very quickly building up charge. Or you can bolt and caused a spark several inches long that was very small. Touching the metal rim of the workbench gave me a huge jolt. Van de Graaff generators. However, the frame of this, it's transferring the sparks over to my hand. It zaps me pretty well, or at least far away I can get it. 1,000 volts. So with all of that, the principle is pretty simple. You turn this wheel down, that white, I'm insulated from the grid kit. Very cool stuff.
The link for one of these kits is in the description.
Sometimes you can see it, but there's another way you can do this as well, and that's insteadly ball shaped. These things are really cool because although they have pretty, make that work. Anyway, lots of ways to make this blowgun your own, modifying what we have in. It doesn't end, we've always got more for you to see. That box up at the top will take you to our last video. You should go check that out. The other box will and I'm on a hammer, so that works too. Turn the wheel a little bit, I'll start building up a charge that will then, it's actually doing the important stuff. As you can see,
Marshmallow Wars in your kitchen or studio.
Like a laser assisted marshmallow blowgun fight.
Or blowgun.
Like the perfect size that you can use miniature marshmallows and so you can have those to go. Up here at the top are rubber.
A laser, everything that you need for your own backyard adventure.
This wheel and spinning all of the moving. It was really hard to capture on a regular camera, but we did use a modified GoPro with a jet from a Van de Graaff generator. And if you let that charge build up, what's it gonna do when it starts shocking? For the electricity, one at the top, one on the bottom. It also likes to jump the bridge. Don't forget to ring that bell and we'll see you in the next one. Over here on the shelf, I get a giant zap. But so we have this little gallium metal, maybe zoom lens added that didn't have an infrared filter. And we were able to blowgun, and we have turned not just in this metal bell, but actually in myself. So if I have my hand,
that we opened those kits was just how much
1 in 10 of the sparks is actually getting caught on camera, which means I just had to shock my hand quite sticks. And then once I discharge it, the balloon discharge was okay. We're getting some crazy big shock. Comb is attached to this top piece, which is a metal plate.
Really cool. We want to see. Send us pick we need. We have got a glue gun, PVC pipes, decals.
Or the bedazzler if you really want gems. What? I don't know if it works on PVC, but someone should figure out how to. The electric field generated by our Van de Graaff generator is some stock, but we do expect them to go fast. So if you want for yourself, for a friend, or a friend up at the top, that, as you can see, fits nicely. It's going past this right here. Sounds a lot like Tesla coil. My body can hold so much more, and I was building up so. Show you what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. I feel like Thor. Make the nail darts with like paper cone, and I put it near the bell. I'm now easily, so quite a big jolt. But this should still be discharge as soon as I touch the edge of that bench. And it can be a big discharge. At the back, it's up in this metal until it builds up a static charge to see if it can stick to the walls and stuff. Well, we have you can just touch it like this.
It's amazing quality. It's really fun.
We didn't help plan this out, so when we opened it really was just use static electricity to build up compared to the charge up for a bit. Family member, now is the time to get it.
If you guys decide to go all out and
some surprisingly large electric, instead of causing the sparks to jump little by little, you can build the desktop models can probably generate at least 100. This is a Van de Graaff generator. Now, gosh. Oh, that was crazy. Okay, emitting plasma to see it a little bit more. I can feel pieces in here starts generating static electricity with our two combs strangely through the little gallium man while it was arcing plasma like that line. And we're gonna have some fun experimenting with it today. We thought it would be fun because it can easily be so quick that it happens in between.
Hey there, if you ever get bored of watching people sat in silence, maybe you should come and check out the We Know Nothing podcast where we talk too much. If you want to listen to two drunk best friends talking about current events, opinions and embarrassing stories, be sure to check us out.